Yeah. Okay, He's holding got no coat. He's holding got no coat. He holding got no coat. Shoot, talk, shoot. I can cop the rope. I can pop the coat. Better off the hood. No, I'm not hood. But you don't know. Yeah, I'm just a G. Yeah, I'm Baby Joe. Now from LA. But a real step. Down to my breath. Down to my breath. I deserve a better. I can carry better. Very better. Very you a devil. They ain't got to go. Wonder why he told. Wonder why he told. Cause they ain't got to go. You been hating on the box. When I see you, we gon' box. I ain't no scared shit like ox. Nigga, I'm a ox. Quick like a fox. But I ain't even said shit. My girl on a mozzarella. I'ma get the bread to this. Nigga, I'm a red. Yeah, I got the red nose. Got me fucked up. I stay by the fucking cup. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. The feet moving. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. The feet moving. Ah. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Code Talk. Happy Black History Month, day 11. It's Black History every day. If you're tuning in, you part of making Black history too. Hey, so want to get things rolling because, you know, it's time. Hey, everybody's dialed in right now. Do me a favor. Start inviting people you know. Go ahead and tag them in the comments. We're going to get this thing kicked off, get it rolling, and highlight a few different things. So one of the things that I want to get into today is going to be the last episode of Elevated Arguments off of the Unkle Junior Network. I want to discuss my man LaRue Bratcher, who is getting set for trial for he's accused of murder and running an illegal marijuana grow, and it's just a trumped up headline. And you guys will be able to see all that stuff in the caption. My man fighting for his freedom, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, for those of you that pray, put your hands together, send one up, and look out for my man, you know what I'm saying? LaRue Bratcher, he's innocent. We're going to talk about some stuff with Black History Month with King Hannibal, you know what I'm saying? Beat the Romans, you know what I'm saying, at Carthage. And let's see here, what else we going to discuss? And we're going to also play a couple videos for you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my man Garfield's video that I participated in on Elevated Dialogue. We're going to get you guys rolling with this right here, and I will see you shortly.
Power. Nothing makes you be able to walk into a door, right? That's closed. It's just the way it is.
There you go.
And I think, you know, what you're saying is it kind of goes back to what Vic always talk about. Vic's always talking about, you know, young men need to find something that they're good at. You know what I mean? I know he like that. Go ahead and chime in, Vic. I know you got something to say about that.
Hey, no, I don't have to say that.
Yeah.
I wrote 2 books. Y'all just want to listen to y'all talk. I ain't going to do nothing but since I'm here.
Yeah, now I'm here. Yeah.
So K-Wright said, hey, man, it's a pleasure to talk to you again. I think we spoke probably about 2.5 years ago. At least I saw a video. I felt like I was talking to you. I think that's what it was. But knowing Garfield and knowing how passionate he is about this, I know that you're here for all of the right reasons. I know a lot of stuff that's implied is going to get explained just based on the fact that you're present. So I'm very appreciative of the fact that I get an opportunity to talk to you in front of, you know what I'm saying, whoever's going to watch this at some point. But yeah, when it comes down to it, you can only be what you're good at. Like you're from Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Alabama.
Okay.
So like being black in the South is way different everywhere else, right?
Yes.
Your only ticket out is gonna be good at something. If you ain't no athlete, no entertainer, you ain't no good coach boy, where you can finally go build a network that takes you out of wherever you at. You can't just go to public school, get good grades, and then somebody's gonna love you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You have to go do something. In order to do something, you have to be good at something.
Correct.
So, what were you good at that created your opportunity to take in new information? You know what I'm saying? Like before you joined the military, right? The military is every black man in the South second to last option. You know, like it's straight up. Like it's like I ain't no street dude, so let me go down into this mess.
Yeah.
Let me go holler at this recruiter, right? Or even if you're a street dude and you smarter than the other street dudes you with, you're like, they're gonna get locked up. They're gonna be wearing somebody's uniform at some point, right? So we probably represent that. You know what I'm saying? In its purest form, we have a lot of what it takes to move around in the streets, but we have enough understanding of the natural world that the outcome is going to be better based on this decision and that decision, right? So what decision did you get to as a man that's from Mississippi that said, I need to join the military? Like, what was that conversation before you did that? Because that's key to discovering what you're good at, because you had to be good at something before you got to that point.
Well, I think I'm an athlete, and when you're good at sport, they put you as a captain. So they say you're leading men, or we not men, we males, but we we still children, but we males. So we're leading.
Football, Jack, Dragon.
Yeah.
So some leading men.
Yes. But and I found that like one thing is that I talk to everybody. Like if I'm use sports, for example, like I don't look at everybody got gifts and talent. I look at everybody as the same. I'm cool with everybody on the team. I do that. There are some guys better, even the worst guy on the team. Might just be a water boy. I give them the same amount of respect, and I'm a friend to them all. So I think just being a family person, being a friend, you're gonna come across a lot of people in your lifetime, and good and bad. You can influence people. Some people influence you. I had friends that went to prison or whatever, but they still my friends though. They're not. I'm never gonna put them out of my circle because of what decision, mistake they made in their life. But I just found how to to network and interact with everybody. So as being in the military, playing sports learned me how to interact with everybody with different levels, different talents, different gifts, and then I was able to transfer it over to the military. Give me a lot of people. Go ahead, Vic.
So I'm about to say, how important is the team concept at the at just the recreational sports level, and how did that translate to your ability to be effective in the military and become a leader?
Well, it's just like you don't want to let your buddy down. So as a team captain, whatever I am, I'm gonna give you my best. Whatever the outcome is gonna be, I'm gonna give you my best. You give me your best too, Vic. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you in the eyes now. You give me everything you got. Don't let me down. You expect that you're gonna do the same.
Willing to give. That's the bottom line, right? That's the main thing. So like, you have to be put in a position where you're willing to sacrifice.
Yes.
In front of men and say, hey, look, this is my soul. I'm bearing it to you, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of people don't get a chance to be in that position. So like when you get that, it's a privilege at some point, because you start recognizing when you leave that everybody can't replace you, right?
Correct.
But you still got the responsibility to build them up so they can replace you.
Yes.
That's a different type of obligation, is it not?
I believe that is.
Yes. So like, I already know where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate the work you've done, you know what I'm saying, both in uniform and out, and that you continue to do, because being a person of service is a commitment. It ain't got nothing to do with the military. The military is just a resume bullet.
Yes.
Because you got to be born to do the you know what I'm saying, to be in this type of conversation. But you got to find your place in it too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what leadership is, right?
Definitely. I think so I can, you know, I can go back even further than like being in sports. Though I just watching my mom and dad, you know, what they did, the sacrifice they made, and it goes back to what you were saying. You know, what you willing to put on the table, what you willing to sacrifice. I commend my parents though, because like we didn't have much growing up, but they sacrificed, you know, so that we could have a little bit more than, you know, than what they had. So I was like, you know, that's why I respect. My dad got went to work every day. You know, I never seen him sick. I never seen him down and out. You know, just like family man. You can count every weekend, Saturday, Sunday. He's gonna be there. You know, we have family meals. Count on those things. And you know, he would give a shirt off back to anybody in the neighborhood. You know, so it's not like if you take that on a small scale and you magnify that to millions of people, it's still the same though. Like your attitude, the way you treat people. It was saying like I remember somebody talking about, you know, when you give somebody money and power, it just shows, it's just, you know, giving them a platform on a high level. They still who they are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you got a problem with money and you get on a high platform, you gonna fuck the money up in front of everybody anyway. You just gonna do it in public.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yes.
And you know what? With that being said, I remember when Rice was mentioning earlier about money not necessarily not being a big deal, but more so about passion and doing different things like that. And I looked over and I saw Antoine's face, like maybe a little bit different. And maybe you didn't have anything to think differently about what he's saying. But do you kind of feel like that, Antoine, or you kind of feel like the men should kind of go along with their passion and stuff like that versus the money? Or
Well, listen, I followed my passion, right? Even though I got a degree in something else, I followed my passion. But I find that, you know, people that talk about, oh, money isn't everything, oh, money isn't this, you ain't gonna help nobody being broke, period. It's just the way the world is now. So when you talk negative about it, like you're okay or you're passive about it, you're not gonna attract it, right? Because it would be good if you had $2 million to help your trade school, right? So when you talk in such a small sense and you don't put enough passion behind wanting to make money, that's telling somebody out there that they don't really need it to make money, right? And I don't agree with that, because I think if anything I would tell anybody, reach for the stars and hope you land on the moon, right? Because money makes people hear you. Money makes people see you. Money gives you power. Money makes you be able to walk into a door, right? That's closed. It's just the way it is. And when you want to expand yourself, or people that tell me, oh, they have enough, or they this enough, I look at them like, well, you're an idiot. You don't have enough. Because if you had enough, you would hit the masses. So you don't have enough. But in order to hit the masses in today's modern times, you need money, right? And you got to grow. Now, I would say I'm fortunate enough that I have my art and I'm making money from it. And it's a passion, and I'm grateful for it. But there's not one picture I draw that I say, well, I want to make just enough. No, I'm going to sell it for the highest bidder, right? And I'm not going to be loyal to nobody. I'm going to be loyal to the almighty dollar that comes on my table. Like I was telling Garfield today, I spent $200 just today on my new pencils. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christmas. So that $200 is going to go into the next drawing I make, and I'm going to add the $200 on to make it back. And if I'm a young man listening to this, I'm going to say, no, you don't have enough. No, your house isn't big enough because you're shooting too small. And if you want to be heard, you got to shoot bigger than that. You want a trade school. Why not have a big sign instead of a small one? You know, as minorities, we always think so small within a box. It's like, long story short, I was telling this guy who started off a little ballet thing, a Mexican guy, doesn't speak English too much, but he started off this little ballet thing. So I'm like, he goes, yeah,
Hey, I'm cutting Antoine off. He get enough talk time on another platform. I want to just highlight the fact that we got
enough. I got this.
We want to talk about leadership today, and we want to highlight some significant people in Black history that lived leadership. So I'm gonna drop something on y'all. You know what I'm saying, before we get into it, because it's Black History Month. So we're giving the right visibility to the right history right now. So what we're looking at right here, well, shout out to before I move to that, hey, shout out to my man Garfield for providing the space on the Unkle Junior Network to do elevated dialogue, talk to each other, you know, and share our leadership experiences. Because I always say this right here: if you 40-some years old and you can't teach nobody anything, did you even exist? And when you're a person of a certain experience, you got certain obligations, you know. So with that being said, I want to do a big shout out to King Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? King Hannibal defeated the Romans. Yeah, the Romans that you hear about all the time in history. You know what I'm saying? Marched elephants through the mountains just to go fight. Name was Hannibal Barca. He's remembered for his ability to incite fear and outthink his opponents. He was the greatest military leader. Was born in Carthage, now known as Tunisia, in 247 BC. That doesn't mean before cell phone either. You know what I'm saying? And let's see, he was the great general of the First Punic War from 264 to 241 BCE. Hannibal would later become the Carthaginian general during the Second Punic War. Okay. These wars were fought between cities of Carthage in North Africa and Rome and northern Italy for supremacy of the Mediterranean region. Hannibal's father died. He assumed command of the army at age 26. He had at a young age of 9 escorted his father to Spain, where he promised him that he would never be a friend to Rome. In 218 BCE, Hannibal decided to bring the fight to the Romans and invade northern Italy. So he invaded northern Italy by crossing the mountain range of the Alps. And crossing the Alps, according to history, was one of the most significant achievements. Knowing that the journey would be difficult, Hannibal planned ahead by having scouts report to him on particular conditions. On his way, he portrayed himself as a liberator, freeing the people of Spain from Roman control, just to be able to win people to his side. So he went out and he won the hearts and minds. You know what I'm saying? He put the information out there, told people what they needed to hear so they can get on board. That's what we do every day as revolutionaries, as leaders in our community, right? You put them on to the right information, and then with new information, you change your opinions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue reading because this is a very, very good story. So by the time he reached the Alps, his army had increased with new recruits. You know, he went from 50,000 infantry and 9,000 cavalry. So I'm not sure what the MTO is on that. And that's a military terminology that we use to describe how many people are made up in your unit. Hannibal also had with him about 40 war elephants, which he was going to use to terrorize the Roman army and their cavalry. Now, I'm going to make a reference right here. My Alabama Crimson Tide could have used some war elephants this past January. But I'm going to move on. Shout out to the UGA Bulldogs for helping us take that in. But during their ascent of the Alps, Hannibal lost several of his troops as they had to battle not only the weather, but attacks from hostile tribes who lived in the mountains. By the time they reached the other side, Hannibal's army had been reduced to about 26,000 men. He went from 50,000 people to 26,000. Still determined to get the victory, Hannibal led his men down onto the plains of Italy. They arrived in Italy. Hannibal used the same strategy of presenting himself as a liberator to get a number of cities to side with him against Rome. His army joined the people who had now formed an anti-Roman forces in northern Italy, and the main assault on the Romans began. Through this, Hannibal was able to destroy many areas in the Italian countryside, and he won several significant battles as well, including the Cannae and the Trasimene and Trebia. I might have messed some of those words up, but you get it. I got the link in the comments. So let's see here. I'm gonna pause it right here. I'm gonna show you guys a video that that the History Channel put together to kind of highlight the fact that Hannibal fought the Romans and defeated them in the Punic Wars. So let me go ahead and click this real quick so you check it out. About 4 or 5 minutes. Let's see here. Boom. Let's get it going right here.
Hannibal is a Carthaginian aristocrat from the Barcid family, who are a significant family in Carthage.
He's talented, he has grit, he has perseverance. Hannibal is one of the few enemies Rome had that they actually respect and idolize, and that is a lot because of his tremendous achievement.
He's got a famous father who's fought against the Romans, who nurtures him in the words of some of the writers, the lion raised for the destruction of Rome.
Carthage really was Rome's only competitor as an empire in the central and western Mediterranean. When his men see him at the age of 26, when he takes command of the Carthaginian army, they see his father reborn in him. His gestures and the way he speaks and the way he holds himself, they see a commander of the greatest promise.
Yeah.
We will be victorious!
Hannibal has a global vision. He realizes that Rome is on the rise, and that if Rome is not stopped, that it means not only the end of Carthage, but it also means the end of the various barbarian tribes. He also recognizes that the only way that Rome can be stopped is with the assistance of these allies.
At that point, Hannibal knew what he would have done: invade Italy. To do that, he needed a big army. Carthaginians were not enough. He had to recruit the barbarian communities of southern and central Spain.
It's a difficult task, it's a very diverse army, and Hannibal has to get them to work together.
He was promising them loot, route for adventure, and wealth. Let's go, guys.
Hannibal's plan to attack the Romans is both audacious, visionary, and extremely risky. He plans to march about 1,000 miles overland and to cross the Alps. He feels that whatever the cost, the advantage in shocking the Romans with him turning up in Italy will make it all worthwhile.
Strange enough, he started the enterprise in the fall. He didn't wait for spring, so he got ready to cross the Alps in the worst conditions possible. It's apparently insane.
He's dealing with an environment such he's never faced before. It's winter in all its fury. It's ice, it's snow, it's wind, it's frostbite. It's just terrible.
It looked like he had led his army into unmitigated disaster. Order was breaking apart, food was scarce, dogs were eating soldiers. It's indescribable.
Despite all the disasters of the Alps, he keeps his eye on the ball. He understands once he can get to Italy, he can rebuild everything. It'll be a whole new war, a whole new ballgame. So that's why he's able to get through the situation in the Alps.
The outcome of the passing makes some of Hannibal's priorities very pressing. He has to fight the Romans immediately and score several big victories. And this is what he does.
The Romans put forth the best legions in front of Hannibal's army, and they can't stop him. One after the other, he brings them to destruction. And this builds a momentum all its own.
Romans at Cannae put together an enormously large army. They've got about 80,000 men.
I did get the word right. It was Cannae.
And they vastly outnumber Hannibal's. They got about 50,000 men. How is he going to defeat the Romans? And the answer is he wants the Romans to come into a trap. And partly because Hannibal set his trap well, and partly because the Romans are overconfident, they fall completely into the trap. It's a paradigmatic example of how you defeat the Romans. You ambush them. And Cannae is the greatest ambush in ancient history.
Hannibal's plan for the Battle of Cannae.
Hannibal used to catch bodies. You hear me?
70,000 Roman troops fall in a single day. Strategists, tacticians, ever since, have striven to copy what he achieved. It represents tactical perfection.
It's hard.
Strategists, tacticians, ever since, have striven to copy.
So check that out, right? That was pretty epic. You know, Hannibal was a black man. Okay, that's the most important thing about that notion of black history being limited to certain pockets of time. You know what I'm saying? He did something that other institutions studied in order to teach their militaries how to fight in open war conflict. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Hannibal, you know, marching elephants through the Alps, you know what I'm saying? Being able to persevere, keep his eye on the prize, and then seize the objective and meet it with the fury that it deserved. You know, it ain't that often you get a chance to see something like that and it actually play out in history and is real. So, you know what, guys, drop some comments if that video was insightful. Make sure you guys, you know what I'm saying, pay attention to the scrolling at the bottom. Hit the Cashapp up, you know what I'm saying, show a little love, a little donation. This is my birthday weekend, by the way, too. I don't normally make a big deal about it, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say something this time. You know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day is on my birthday, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys check that out. Holler at your boy. You know, I know it's Super Bowl weekend for a lot of y'all, and that are NFL fans, and also the ones that like to bet. So if you want to, man, go ahead and leave a couple of comments in there about who you're going for. You got the Bengals or you got the Rams. You know what I'm saying? You taking Jalen Ramsey having a good day against Chase Young. You know what I'm saying, on the defensive side or the offensive side. But I'm gonna draw your attention to some things that need a little bit more visibility. And this is in support of a dear brother of mine, and his name is LaRue Bratcher, and he's from Oklahoma City. Let me show y'all what he looked like right here. That's my brother right there, LaRue Bratcher. Been meaning to get a chance to highlight his situation when it was time, and now is the time. So, in the age of accountability in which we live in, now we can bring up our stories to get the right visibility where you need to. And this is a key one for me because my man, LaRue, family man, he's a veteran, entrepreneur, owns his own marijuana grow, got into a situation where a person broke into his place of business and he wound up shooting and killing him. And they took him to jail because his marijuana license lapsed. It wasn't like he had an illegal grow that nobody knew about. But I'm going to go ahead and read the story for you. So the case against an Oklahoma man for shooting a suspected burglar is moving forward. It's been nearly 2 years since police say LaRue Bratcher shot and killed a man trying to break into his marijuana grow business in Oklahoma City. The Army veteran, husband, and father was later charged with first-degree murder after Friday afternoon's hearing. That charge has been dropped to second-degree murder. We simply believe that we are all here because we were asking for justice for him, said Dr. J.A. Reed, pastor of Fairview Missionary Baptist Church and supporter of Bratcher, who attended the hearing. This is a waste of Oklahoma County taxpayers' money, said Pastor Derek Scobie, pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church and supporter of Bratcher, who also attended the hearing. Supporters of Bratcher showed up in droves Friday at the hearing that moved the trial that was originally scheduled for the end of February. We're going to continue to fight for LaRue until he's free, said J.B. Williams, a supporter of Bratcher in attendance at the hearing. A little background on the event that took place. In May of 2020, Bratcher was arrested for shooting and killing Daniel Hardwick. Bratcher claims he was trying to break into his marijuana grow business the night of the shooting. At the time, Bratcher told police he saw Hardwick on the camera coming through a hole in the gate and then heard him at the back door. Bratcher told the police he asked him what he was doing, then fired 3 shots through the door to scare him. He found Hardwick dead on the other side. Supporters said Bratcher was just standing his ground, including the author of Oklahoma Stand Your Ground Law and current Oklahoma County Commissioner Kevin Calvey, who says Bratcher shouldn't be charged at all. There's not right versus left, Calvey. It's right versus wrong. That's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So the way that this thing is set up, it just goes to show you the constant injustice and the cherry picking in which the law applies for some and against others. So in most cases, we're part of a community of others. So in a state even where it's a stand your ground law, a black man still doesn't have the same opportunities to get due process. We have to get due process through being detained and incarcerated, to get our day in court, and they call that justice. And I'm speaking out on that because if nobody brings visibility to this, a lot of people won't believe it ever happened, But even with video footage, this man on his own property, he can't even defend himself in his property without having his name slandered, without having the right information associated with the narrative, and dismissing all of his credentials. The fact that he was an Army veteran, a father of four, and married to his wife of, I'm not sure how many years, but I know him and his wife been together for a while. He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to continue reading. The state, though, argues Bratcher's license to grow marijuana had lapsed, making it an illegal grow operation. That is a felony in Oklahoma. Prosecutors said Bratcher was technically committing a felony at the time of the shooting. Second Amendment attorney Robert Robles says the stand your ground law does not apply. He goes on to say, you will not be allowed to get the protection of the Castle Doctrine, which gives you the presumption under a series of facts that you are in fear of your life or in fear of being seriously injured by the opposing party, Robles said. If that's true, then what if somebody is in their car and they let their driver's license expire or their car tag or their liability insurance, Calvin said? Does that mean someone can go carjack them and they have no right to defend themselves? Shout out to Calvi for that quote and that rebuttal, because nobody should lose the opportunity to defend themselves behind paperwork lapsing. Robles also said that because Bratcher didn't know exactly what was on the other side of the door, that indifference could be grounds for second-degree murder charge. There's no specific intent to kill a certain person, but you don't care about the consequences, Robles said. It would be similar to shooting at a passing train. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Man, Robles is out of his goddamn mind. Like, straight up. Like, he's comparing shooting at a passing train to a man trying to defend himself on his own property from someone that's there to break in and do harm. So the article goes on to say, while not objecting, the state voiced concerns about the delay of the trial. Calvi is running for district attorney this year, and the state claims Calvi said he would dismiss charges if he won. This has nothing to do with any election or anything like that, Calvi said. I'm here solely in my role as the author of Stand Your Ground Law. So in that role, I believe that the Stand Your Ground Law does provide protection to LaRue Bratcher that would for any other Oklahoman. District Attorney David Prater sent a statement about the situation that can be read in full below. The false narrative being pushed by the defendant's supporters is completely inconsistent with the facts of the case. The true facts will be presented in open court at trial. I welcome anyone interested in the truth to observe the trial. They can make their own determination as to what happened. Bratcher's new trial is set for June 6th. Hey, if you guys would do me the favor, I'm going to drop this link in the comments. I'd like for you guys to take this link, repost it, and, you know what I'm saying, and state your piece, because my brother is innocent. He deserves to be at home to raise his kids and to be with his family and live a normal life that he's earned from service, from service of being in the Army and defending this country when it can't even defend its own history. So with that being said, I like to just say, hey, man, LaRue, I'm cheering for you, rooting for you, praying for you, all of that good stuff. Anything that'll get you, you know what I'm saying, the justice that you deserve, anything that'll get you the dignity, get your dignity back. And, you know, I just want to see you win, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of the tribe. And, you know, that you, my brother, I salute you. And stay in the fight, bro. That's all you got, you know. So what do you guys think about that? That's not for publicity. That's for visibility. That's for, you know, equity. That's for justice. So we got people fighting real fights out here. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful about the things you complain about, you know. And a lot of people complain about things that they can rectify themselves. And even when you try to solve your own problems, you see there's always some sort of obstacle out there that doesn't care about your expectations. But in his simple way of just, you know, just trying to exist and trying to mind his own business, somebody got into his space and he had to defend it, and he the one that went to jail for defending himself, you know. If it happened the other way around, we would never heard about it, you know, and or it would have been made a mockery out of. But even in the case where he was defending himself, they still got in his business for the wrong reasons. So I think that we have to be careful about the things that we complain about, especially when we're one or two mistakes or with somebody else's bad day away from being completely inconvenienced and living a different way of life. All right, so you guys, if you notice, I got my link tree up because I do a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all see this one right at the top? I would be very appreciative if you guys go click that top link and go check out my Patreon. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the link tree link in the comments. You go check that out and become a supporter, you know? So what I'm trying to do right now is build exclusive content. That way I can service the people that's willing to invest in me like I've invested my time and energy in you, you know? We're trying to build a community here that supports itself, that's self-sustained, and we got the resources to do it because we're practicing group economics. This right here, anytime we get a chance to kick it, I consider this to be group economics because we have more to gain by just trading resources, you know what I'm saying, than we do with money. Just money alone anyway. So money alone will not get us the satisfaction of quality of life like trading resources will. So with that being said, I'm going to drop another video right here on you. This is a video of the inside of my Airbnb property. So let me let this run for a second. Y'all tell me what you think. Probably about another 2 points. Let's see. I didn't hit all my points I need. Man, look, I appreciate that right there. Hey, I'm just running through my little ads, and I want to just say I greatly thank you guys for coming on here, participating with me, sharing a little bit of time out of your Friday evening, Super Bowl weekend. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. I'm going to start, promoting it a little bit more. I'm going to need a little bit more participation. You know what I'm saying? I greatly appreciate the time you guys are willing to allow me into your space to bring you guys some information from my side of the world, from within my network. If you guys are interested in promoting your brands, contact me directly. or via inbox, and we could discuss some pricing. We could discuss promoting your stuff, getting it in front of the world. Let me see who else might see this. Shout out to Barbara H. Smith for hosting me on her show the other day at the Barbara H. Smith show. It's her program reaches out to 122 different countries, and soon enough you guys will get a video from that, because I'm going to drop it so we can all look over it and you know what I'm saying, and share opinion and feedback. Always leave me some feedback. Always leave me some comments, please. What else we got going on here? I think that's about it. Oh man, look, I forgot about the UPC event. Man, I'm tripping. We got a UPC event this weekend called the Double Up. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I know it's on my timeline somewhere. And we are, so for those of you that don't know, Lean has a huge Black Business Week in which, this is town with a bunch of different entrepreneurs, a big mix of folks from all over the place that are, from somewhere else. And we're having a 2-day economic empowerment ceremony, event rather. So check this out, right? Yours truly will be there speaking on STR stuff. You see that over there where my cursor is? Yeah. Look it down at the bottom. It says Vinziant Rental Solutions. Yeah, we're going to be talking STR. For those of you that don't know, that's short-term rental. That's the video that you just watched on my Airbnb property. And it's going to be sponsored by UPC. And it's a 2-day event in which we're going to talk about real estate education. We're going to have a comedy show. You see the time. You see the events that's going on right there. Shout out to my sister, Ashley Smith, Noble Group Realty. My boy, Regis, who runs TR3 Construction, as well as he's the president of UPC. And hey, we got a lot of talent. You see the prices, you know what I'm saying, where you got the food and the drinks, the live streaming. Hey, check it out. Don't miss the opportunity to get this education from people that do the work. We do the work. We live in the mud with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dropping that link right there. Y'all do me the favor and repost that. Also, go find the Urban Power Connections Facebook page and go ahead and click like and subscribe to that so you can stay abreast of everything that we got going on down here in the Central Texas community, So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and drop the theme song and I'm going to get up out of here, and let it ride out. Peace. Boom.
Okay, y'all. Talk that shit now, nigga. Y'all ain't say about cold, nigga. Y'all locked up, y'all ain't say about cold, nigga. He's holding got no cover. 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 Shoot, talk, shoot. I just got the roof. I just pop the coop. Metal off the hoop. No, I'm not hoop. But you don't know. Yeah, I'm just a G. Yeah, I'm Baby Joe. Now from LA. But I'm real stuff. Down the silver pressure. Down the silver pressure. I deserve a better. I can carry better. Dare carry better. Bury you with devil. They ain't got cold. Wonder why he told. Wonder why he fold. But they ain't got cold. You been hating out the box. When I see you, you don't box. I ain't no scared shit like ox. Nigga, I'm a ox. Quick like a fox. But I ain't even saying shit. My girl on a mozzarella. I'ma give you bread sticks. Nigga, I'm a red bitch. Yeah, I got a red nose. Got me fucked up. I stay by the fucking code. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. That's that cold shit. The feet moving.
Hey, get ready to get this merch too. I ain't even mentioned that. We start dropping some more stuff on that too. We gonna get better, baby.